Hey everyone, welcome to this little series on creating an external dashboard with Waylay. I'm here with Vaseline, CTO of Waylay, and we're going to play a little bit around with some code and see where we end up, create a little dashboard.
Yeah, why are we doing this, Sander?
We are doing this because, we want to show people how easy it is to use Waylay in external tools and not just within our dashboards.
And the second reason is I think that people hate to read documentation. So if you show them a GitHub and a little bit of a video, it's going to be also a little bit easier for folks to just start hacking our stuff as well. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly.
Well, as a CTO, we just do this thing. So I'll ask you some questions once in a while, Sander. So go ahead.
Yeah.
So what's this?
So the first, maybe the setup, it's very easy. This is really my only slide except for the start slide. We have the Waylay platform on the left where you can have resources and you can have data. But what we want is to have that data in an external dashboard. Now, the dashboard we are going to create today is not going to be as nice as this one. But it will be the same principle. We just need to authenticate, so log in and then get data to visualize.
Yeah, and I just will say that, we will start, this is going to be one of the first in series of videos. So, often people know us for our automation, but we'll start with something very simple. It's like how to visualize data. So there are a lot of videos on the ingestion and MQTT, but we'll here assume the data one or the other way has arrived. If people have ideas on that stuff, so we'll just keep that and we can check some other videos on how we ingest data, but let's try to visualize some of these things in another platform or in other code.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we'll have a look at the resource first to have a look at what data we are working with. So you've actually been recording a bunch of data from different cities around Europe, I guess?
Yeah, I try to depress myself knowing how lousy weather can be in Ghent, so I actually also fetch data from Paris, London. We can make a show template, actually, do some tasks. Yeah, these are my tasks. So what we actually do here, we are fetching data for 4 or 5 cities, and then we use the call through the API to fetch that and just store this data in our system. So if you look at some things like Paris, let's go to Paris. We can just go by there, just click there. Okay. And we look at the data. Yeah, this is basically what we see in our platform. And if you can click explore or something, you can actually see some of these things.
Yeah, let's take a
cloud coverage, I think.
Cloud coverage is always a good one to look at.
Yeah. Okay, it's winter, so anyway. It's kind of cloudy in Paris now.
Yeah. And is this like percentage? 100%?
Yeah, it's from 0 to 100. So I guess in Belgium is hardly ever below 50 or something. But what we do here, we can add in each of these ad series, we can add another metric, like give me a Paris and then give me a temperature or something. Doesn't matter. So just take temperature or
temperature feeling.
Yeah, temperature feeling. But what we want to do now is for today to showcase how you can actually build some visualization having data already collected in Waylay, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we'll create a little dashboard as well.
Okay.
So what I've done is I created some boilerplate HTML, which is just a login screen and then a canvas. Of course, we still have to need to write the code to log in and then show the dashboard because you cannot see the dashboard before you log in.
All right.
And I've put that, let's go there, into this file. Well, this is actually your code. I'm taking the credit here, but it's actually...
If it's lousy, that was me. So go ahead.
So yeah, it's very easy. Some boilerplate CSS. Then we have a container with everything from the login screen, which means a user input field, password input field, and then a button to log in, which is basically these 3 elements. And then beneath that we have a page wrapper, some wrappers for the page, a title for the dashboard, the canvas for the dashboard, so that's the idea the chart itself, and then a drop-down selection for times.
And
that's-
maybe
that's
to
over
say,
here.
I mean, I guess people will ask, is it React or Vue.js? But I guess we settle on good old jQuery.
Yeah.
It shows my age as well, probably. But the other thing that maybe it's interesting to see here is the SDK, Waylay UMD.js. So this is part of our SDK package. We'll not go over that right now, but this is the only one you need to actually start coding or start logging to our environment, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing you need.
Yeah. Okay.
And then some
jQuery
things that are
charts,
included, charts indeed.
Yeah.
And lastly, one script that will be altering, which is the script we'll be coding. And I've already took the liberty to define some variables so that we don't have to do all the jQuery things, but it makes it a lot easier. So maybe the thing we start with is specifying what our Waylay domain is, right? Because you have to connect to a certain domain to your own environment. And where do you find that? Well, if you go to your console, to your Waylay console, you can just see the domain over here. So we are working with funhawk, and it's just funhawk.waylay.io.
Yeah, otherwise, if you have more than one tenant, obviously you can put it in login window and select any of these, but okay, let's assume we have just one now here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then the first thing we need to do to, for example, log in is of course create our client. So we initiate our client, and it's very easy. You just, because we included it over here, the package, we can just call Waylay. We create a new Waylay client, and we give the domain along as well. So this is just an object with one property, which is the domain. We can, of course, also do like this. Doesn't really matter. But that's how you set that up. And then maybe let's start creating a login flow.
Okay.
The first thing I like to do is start off with a function to initiate the page. So let's make that. Before we are logged in, we of course want to hide the dashboard. So I've selected the dashboard over here with jQuery, and then we can just very easily hide it. Like this. And then the next thing we have to do is, of course, from the moment somebody presses the login button over here, initiate the login sequence. So we do that by going to the login button, and when it gets clicked, we call a function. For example, we'll call our function login. We still have to write it, but that's the general flow that will happen. So let me now create a function login. And the login function will do a few things, which is firstly, of course, logging our client in. So we do that by client dot login, and then we have to pass our username and password.
That's from line 7 and 8, right? Okay. Yeah.
Sorry?
These are the lines 7 and 8, right? That you have there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So here I select the user input, user password, and it's just
pass it there.
The text fields.
All right.
Just like that. And the next thing we have to do is load our settings for the client, which will download what exactly?
Yeah, because we work with the multi-tenancy, so we need to initialize endpoints. So, I mean, if you work on the default tenants, you don't need to do that. But if you have a multi-cluster environment, similar to Amazon, you have to nail down to a particular API endpoint or a zone, if you like. So in this case, we are actually targeting a particular domain. We would like to initialize all endpoints, which is actually what the SDK does by just calling this. You don't have to manage that. We have plenty of microservices, so we need to just be able to align all these API endpoints, and we do it by using the load settings call. Yeah.
Exactly. And maybe one important thing as well is we have to wait till we are logged in before we can
I was
load the
just about to
settings.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's use good old async thing.
yeah,
Alright.
exactly.
All right.
And then we also have to make our function async, of
yeah.
course. Just like that. All right. So after that happened, we know we are logged in. I'm not gonna bother too much with error handling
yeah.
and stuff like that. You can do that, of course, but let's keep it simple and keep it quick here.
Let's do happy paths first.
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing we do is hide the login form, of course. Oops, dot hide. And then we show the dashboard again. Just like that. And that's actually all we need to log in.
Okay.
Right? So we could already have a look at how that feels. And it doesn't work.
Yeah, because you have a function to start, but there is an onload thing to that.
Yeah, I didn't call the function.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
So let's call the function at the end. That should do the trick. You can do it on
window load
in special functions, but this already seems to do the trick because our dashboard is gone.
All right.
And now we have to log in. So let me get up my Waylay credentials real quick. Always use a password manager, folks. And then when we log in, we see that the dashboard is there.
Okay.
Hooray.
All right, let's plot something in there. Okay.
Yeah, now comes of course the harder part of the
fun part.
The fun part, yeah, of course.
All right.
So in this part we will be loading the data, getting it from the servers, and plotting it in the chart. What I've already done is over here, because we are using chart.js, we need a chart context, which I already selected.
Yeah.
And I've already created a chart. So for chart.js, you just create a new chart with your chart context, which is just
this div element there over there.
Yeah, the canvas
element.
Exactly. And then we're going to use a line chart. We don't have a data set yet, that's empty, and then some options just to make it look nice and say, hey, the x-axis is our time, is our moment in time.
All right, now we have to feed the data into that thing. All right, so let's go.
Yeah, so let's start by creating a function, again an async function, because we are going to load data from the internet.
Yeah.
Function, let's call it load data.
Okay.
We of course need a resource and a time, but let's define a standard time of 1 day. So this notation over here that's like a standard for.
It's ISO something, but okay, we can Google afterwards. So I mean, how you specify minutes and days and all of that stuff. So it's all ISO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the first thing we'll do is getting our metrics. I'm gonna put this in comments for a moment. Then we'll this step is when we search for all the metrics that are present on the resource. So if you have a look over here,
we have plenty of these. Yeah, well, something like a dozen of these. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a bunch of metrics, and we first have to know which ones we need. So we go and get them, and afterwards we can actually fetch them from the server. So that's the next step, and then the last step will be to update our dashboard. All right, let's start by defining a function to get our metrics, maybe.
Yep.
So let's call that variable metrics, and we'll await a call to our client.
So basically what we're doing now is we want to discover the metrics which are available for that given resource. So we could have just had hard-coded now temperature or something else. But what are we doing with this call is basically we're discovering the metrics which are associated with that resource, which have been so far stored in the system. So, and now we need to just map and give a name back rather than a whole array of things. So we're now doing return map, and for each of the metrics, for metric we are basically returning metric dot. I think you have to return something, or just
no, it's okay like this.
Okay.
So if you don't put up like curly brackets, you don't have to return it.
Okay, cool. Okay, didn't know that.
That's a new kind of notation.
Simpler and simpler in Java.
Yeah.
JavaScript. All right.
And then so some of these metrics I've seen are not very useful.
Yeah, like collect time or some other.
Like
things.
collect time, which is just an ISO.
Yeah, it's the epoch.
Epoch time, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then the sunrise, for example, and sunset.
Yeah. Okay, let's just remove this.
So yeah, I took the liberty of having a variable with excluded names, which we don't really want or need. So I want to exclude those from our metric set. So metric.
Not yeah.
So this just says if it doesn't include, if this metric is not included in the excluded metrics, then we return it.
Okay.
So yeah, and that should be our metrics.
So it will be get metrics for Paris, right? So this is, I think you have iterated before. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still.
Okay. Still a simple argument. Okay.
It still has an input argument. It could indeed just use the global one, but I think it should be okay like this.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, we could already test it if we want. I'm not sure if you ever used a debugger.
I'm console guy, console log.
Console log. I like the debugger.
All right.
It gives a lot of insights.
You like breakpoints, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's have a look. For that, you do have to have the inspector open, or the breakpoint, the debugger breakpoint won't work.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Like this, we log in. We of course don't call our function.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that in the.
So let's do that in the login. No data with our resource, which is Paris.
Yeah. Okay. It's a global there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Credentials. So for a proper web app, you of course would put this in cookies.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so what we got there?
And yeah, let's have a look. So our metrics which are loaded are still pending. Oh yeah.
It's a promise, man. So
yes, you are right.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll have to await.
Yeah.
And refresh.
Where is your debugger? What is this? 401. Are you sure you have put your credentials right? You had them before.
I should have, yeah.
Did you call? You didn't wait for load settings. Wait there.
Aha.
Because you see it had actually defaulted to default one. I didn't wait for it, so
yeah.
That's what I was saying before. Why you need to load settings? Otherwise, you're probably defaulting to the default SaaS platform rather than IO platform.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Good.
So we have all the metrics we need.
Long live pair programming.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
All right. So far, so good. So let's start fetching our data.
Yeah. Good. Now that we know metrics, so we have to go to the time series database and fetch data values. So let's do that.
Yeah. So to do that, we can do that one by one. So let's maybe start by first making a for loop.
Why don't you do metrics for each?
That's also a possibility.
Yeah,
But I mean,
style. Okay.
it's just.
All right. Everybody has his own style. There's so many options, man. All right, go ahead.
So we get we'll
Data.
define some data.
Yeah, I guess we need to wait again. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So for this resource, and then
the metric, yeah.
you get the metric. So
and time, I guess, right?
and then you exactly have to specify a time.
Yeah.
But this needs to be an epoch. So let's first have a look at that. So to define that, we can use some libraries. Or I have some libraries included.
Yeah,
over
moment,
here.
I guess. So.
The moment library,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
So we'll define
From field, yeah.
From in an object, because those
Yeah.
are options.
Yeah, we have options from too, but okay, let's keep it just, we go back. And then we stop at the current moment, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it duration?
So this is a from. This will be the from
Yeah.
point from the starting point from which we will start fetching data, and the until point is now,
Okay.
just this point
Get it.
in time.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is take the moment at this moment.
Yeah.
And
subtract
yeah, exactly.
that time that was input argument, yeah. Duration that was in time, okay.
Yeah. And because it's an epoch time, it should be in seconds.
Okay, and then we multiply by 1000 to get millis. Okay.
That's because we, as at Waylay, expect milliseconds granulation, because it's.
Can you go fast? Data can come fast. Yeah.
Data can come fast, exactly.
All right.
Then we have one series, but we have to collect them somewhere. So let's do that.
Let's call it data or something. Or?
We already have
time
that
series.
over here.
Okay,
so
okay.
So time series, which is an array.
And then you push it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Let's also first check if the data is there, right? Because if there is no data in the time series, we don't want to
push it yet. Yeah.
To be showing it.
Yeah. All right. Time series push data.
Yes.
What did you do?
Yeah. For charts.
Yeah. Okay.
It expects an object for each data series, data set.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
So to do that, you make an object with a label, which is just the name of the series. So we can just use the metric name.
Yeah.
Then it also expects data. And for this, you have to convert it a little bit.
Because that's what charts are expecting. They're not working exactly on epoch time, but we need to map things a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a two-dimensional array, I believe, or something like that. Yeah, X and Y. Yeah, normal. Yeah. That's a new date. We're gonna initialize with epoch thing. Yeah. That's T0. Right?
Yeah, and that's so the series will be an array of arrays where the first element or the zeroth element is the time.
And your second one is a value, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the one. Yeah.
So we have to deconstruct it in an X and a Y value.
Simple, actually.
That's basically it. Yeah. So then we should have everything in the time series, and we should be able to already update our
in our charts. Yeah.
Our charts, exactly. Time series.
All right. And then chart like update or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know your charts.
Yeah, a little bit.
So this should already give us some interesting results. Let's close this one.
Yeah. Did you kill your debugger? Yes, I guess so.
Yeah.
All right.
Already automatically kills the debugger when you
Okay.
when you close the inspection window. Let's have a look. Let's give it some time. Okay, this is too much time.
Yeah, something. Let's check your code again. So what are we doing there? Are we calling the load data? Yeah. We wait for the metrics. Chart update.
Length.
Say it again. I mean, what is happening in the console? All right.
This like that. It does get all the metrics, so these are getting loaded. That's great. We have the chart, we have the data set. I see. It's a typo there. It's data sets and not data sets.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's have a look. Getting everything.
Woohoo.
Oh yes, there we go.
All right.
Okay, great. Now this doesn't look very appealing.
It's kind of grayish.
Kind of grayish,
Yeah.
exactly. So I also added some colors here.
Yeah.
But we have to write a little. So you can give colors in these objects,
Okay.
but they don't select automatically which color you need. So
I see.
let's define a little function that will create a color, a unique color per
metric. Yeah.
per metric, exactly. So we get the number, and then or can actually just do it like this, I think. Lots of colors, and then number.
Plot colors left, I guess. Yeah, you're trying not to go above. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Length.
Yeah.
Just like that, and then we can do that over here. And it's called border color.
Okay. So this is a chart library. So yeah, and then get color for
I, and we have to.
So this is your for each thingy, right? So
Yeah, that's for each it would be a lot easier.
yeah, but then
can
that
do
doesn't
is,
matter. Just
I'll
or
do
just
it-
put a counter there.
I'll
Oh,
do it, oh,
yeah, no, never mind.
I'll do it like this. Let I equal 0. I smaller than
Matrix left, I guess.
length. Yep.
And
Let's do it old school. For
Old school,
loop.
Yeah. But then in your metric will be a matrix I thingy there. So you have to go in the constant metric. It's matrix of position I. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Just like that.
Yeah. And that looks good to me.
That should be. That should just do the trick.
All right. Okay. Your fancy one password again.
There we go. I think it's easy that you can just drag and drop it in there.
Yeah.
Let's hope for colors.
It's all white.
It doesn't do anything at all.
What is it? Matrix select. You need to do the matrix in the for loop, for I loop. Yeah. No. Matrix select.
Yes. Oops.
Matrix.
That was my autocomplete, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Let's see
Yeah.
that. All right. Let's do it one more time.
It's if you want to do a demo and you want to go fast.
Ta-da-da-dum.
And
Okay.
there we go.
Awesome.
So yeah.
And can we make one maybe like on select on event to just change this thing here, or
Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah, let's just do that.
So we indeed included this, and we can select some different timings. And that's actually very simple because we already have our load data, which is set up for a resource and a time. All we have to do is hook this up. So we have to look at our time select, which is the time selector. See when it changes, so change. And then we have to create a function that just gets the time value that is selected at the moment. And this is actually the only time we have to fiddle with jQuery, except for
indeed,
the things over there. So we get our time selected and its value.
Yeah.
Just like that.
And then load the data for resource, and this time we provide the time. Okay.
Yeah. So that should be everything.
Okay.
Let's have a look. I'm gonna close the inspector because this time
You
it's
feel
gonna
confident.
work. I feel confident.
All right, so we should start seeing for the stop day,
Yeah.
and let's get it for 1 hour. Well, it's gonna be just maybe a couple of data points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it does work.
What happened for the past month, I guess? Let's see how was the weather in Paris.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Ah, it's not bad actually.
What's this? The wind direction went everywhere.
Yeah. And how about 1 year? Let's see the summer in Paris. Who cares about the winter?
No. How long have you been
Okay.
looking for Paris?
Yeah, last time was like a year ago, so yeah, looking forward. All right, so this was our chart. Pretty cool. So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our very minimal contained use case.
All right.
And
so what are we gonna see the next time?
So next time we'll be looking at how to do tasks.
Yeah. So to make some rules out of this data, right? So okay, cool.
Yeah. So you can initiate automations on top of the data that you see here, or create some alarms.
Okay.
And it will definitely be interesting as well.
Yeah. All right. So thanks again, Sander, and thanks for guys for watching.
Yeah. Thanks for being here and
All
looking
right.
at me stumble over my
Rubber
own
ducking.
code. Exactly.
All right. Okay. Cool.
See you next time, and thanks
Ciao.
for watching.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.